Establishment of the Africa Energy Bank has been thrown into a bit of uncertainty as their Africa Export-Import Bank has said that continued delay by the APPO, the African Petroleum Producers Organization, in transferring equity subscription funds could stall the project indefinitely. That seems to be at the heart of what's going on. There was a letter that was sent to the APPO Secretary General, Dr. Omar Farouk, with the African Exim Bank said APPO's position that funds would only be moved after a launch date, headquarters selected, and appointment of a president risked derailing the bank's formation. Let's get into that with Arise Business Analyst Chika Mbonu, who joins us to discuss. Welcome to the show, sir. Good to see you again.
Hi, Ruf.
I'm fine.
How are you today?
Fine, thank you. Fine, thank you. So yeah, what do you make of this?
The African Energy Bank.
Yes, this update here.
The African Energy Bank, this is the way we normally do in a program.
Set the foundation.
Let's have the foundation. Is a multilateral financial institution.
Yeah.
Set up basically by there are names that come out there that when you mention the African Energy Bank, the African Petroleum Producers Association.
Yeah.
They call it short for APO.
Yeah.
And the Afrexim Bank,
yeah.
the African Export and Import Bank. Basically, what has happened is that the Western financial institutions increasingly have stopped financing fossil fuel. Yeah. Fossil fuel, basically in the layman's language, includes principally the crude oil that we produce principally in Nigeria and other African countries as our major energy source. So a lot of Western institutions, banks, financial institutions, have stopped financing that. Indeed, World Bank even in 2019 actually pulled that from there. Banks like Bank Paribas reduced their financing by about 65%. ING, Commonwealth Bank of Australia, everybody has been pulling back from financing fossil fuels based projects.
Yes.
Principally, those are the projects that live by Africa. But so it happens that Africa didn't want to be left behind. Yeah. And if these banks withdrew, and that's what gave rise to this African Energy Bank, owned principally by this, as I mentioned before, the African Petroleum Producers Association. Yeah. That's the countries in Africa that produce crude. Yeah. And that's the three levels of shareholders. That's the first level of shareholders, those dead. And then Afrexim Bank. And then you have other African countries, they are national oil companies. And then you have other individual or corporate investors. But no foreign governments outside Africa are going to invest.
Right.
Now, the core shareholding, $5 billion. But the initial share capital call, equity call, was about $3 million for each APO member. Yeah. Now, but what's happened now, things are supposed to move fast by Q1 2025, that's this year, half year. This year. Yeah. But you see, that's why this is happening. Only about 3 countries, Nigeria, I think Angola and Ghana, had paid the equity contribution. About 44% of the contribution have been raised. The decision was that Apple was going to contribute $1.5 billion, and then African Exim Bank will match with their own funding when that is complete. Yeah. And so there's a program for it. And what's happened now is that a lot of the Apple members have not brought in the equity contribution. Yeah. And that's what gave rise to this issue. And it's not due to any reason. But African Bank is saying, see guys, we agreed on a work plan.
Right.
The funds are supposed to come in by this particular time. Bank takeoff would have been Q1 and between Q1 and H1. Yeah. That's Q1 and H1 first half of this year. Yeah. We're not making progress. A lot of activities are lagging because the fundings are not in place. And so if these funds are not in place, let not become a typical African thing again that the project is abandoned. Yeah. And so that's basically the issue of this. So important is the fact that African energy, we have African division in African energy.
Of course.
So that's very important for this to happen. And that's why this is become necessary. Western banks have stopped financing, substantially reduced their financing of fossil fuel projects in Africa, especially. And then Africa wants to help Africa And that's why the project has
So we're looking within.
We're looking within to come in.
Well, I hope they sort out this matter. Thank you. Chika, another matter, of course, is aviation. I wish.
Well, I mean, we don't have much time.
Yeah.
But let me make it briefly. I'm happy that there's a press release by the Minister of Aviation, who is an SAN himself.
Yep, Festus
Kayamo. I think wisdom has prevailed. Everybody said, let's press reset and go back to level 0 and let everybody be warned, whether it's the crew, the expectation of the crew, and also the expectation of the passengers.
Yeah.
But there's more on the passengers. Let me put it this way, Rotus.
Yeah.
Port Harcourt, Lagos is 45 minutes. Port Harcourt, Abuja, Lagos, Abuja is 55 minutes.
Yeah.
Kano, 65 minutes. All the flights in Nigeria are very short. Guys, when you enter your plane, just take your seat.
Yes.
Put on your seat belt. Okay?
Yes.
Put off your phone when they tell you to put off your phone.
Yeah.
15 minutes climbing, 15 minutes cruising, 15 minutes descent, you're on your destination.
Right.
Leave your big manism and be hot woman or hot madam or hot this and outside the plane and enter inside that compressed cylinder.
Yeah.
And pray for all of us to arrive at the destination.
Safely.
Listen. Now, if you want to play big boy or big girl, I can get you a discount. It's about $2,000 maybe. PJ.
Yes, private jet.
From private jet from Lagos to Port Harcourt or Lagos to this thing. I have the network and get you this thing. So then you can throw your leg up, put your phone on, leave your phone on, do anything you want to do, shout at the air hostess, and they will give you anything you want to do if you want to do that.
Yeah.
But once you're inside a plane that has about 100 passengers, 200 passengers, the captain there is a CEO.
Right.
He has the right to do anything to protect the lives of the passengers. And with his walking through his crew, if they give you instructions, obey them.
Right.
The flight is very short. And that's what this is all about for me. Go on time for your flights. They tell you sometimes that the desk closes 1 hour before the time. Respect all those things because the loads have to
don't show up late.
The loads have to be taken in and put inside the plane, so the plane doesn't take off on time and doesn't take off late. Everybody must work towards making sure that happens. And when you enter that compressed cylinder, just behave.
Just behave.
Obey. Put on your seatbelt. Put off your phone and put it aside somewhere. You want to talk to people, just don't be rude. A lot of the hostesses are graduates like a lot of us are.
Yeah.
That if you look at the ring, most of them are married and have children. The captain is this thing, so obey them.
Yeah.
I'm also employing the hostesses to talk to people like human beings and respect.
Yeah.
But there's more on the passengers. Stay in your seat and just pray for safe takeoff and safe landing. Yeah. And there'll be peace for everybody.
Do you think this has, with everything that's been happening, do you think there's a teachable moment here for the industry?
Everybody has learned. I think everybody has learned. And see, as I said, it's a compressed cylinder. But so people come with pre-existing conditions.
Yes, and bring it
into something.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody has had a break. The husband or wife left.
They lost money.
Death in the family.
Yeah.
Some people are drunk, are on colos, and so many other things, and they bring into that compressed cylinder.
Yeah.
The atmosphere makes it worse, exacerbates it.
Right.
And then, but there are 200 lives at stake there.
Right. So you need to
just take your seat in your corner. If you take your seat in a corner and put it on your seat bed, no hostess comes to you.
I know I was out. I'm not trying to justify any of this, but do you think with the issues of delayed flights, cancelled flights, is there a lot of anger that Nigerians have towards
behavioral influences include stress, fatigue, intoxication, crowded spaces, delays. Okay?
No refunds too.
No refunds.
Yeah.
Inequities, like seeing people, this. Do you know how some people feel sometimes? Let me tell you the one I make sometimes. No, let me tell you the one I make sometimes.
Go ahead. I know where you're going, yes.
As the plane takes off, bam, some of those air hostesses just come and they're like this. and close the business class.
Yes.
And so that people in the economy just look like they're nothing. So they just, if you see how they do that, they just push their bomb out and do like that. And so those inequities are sometimes
it bubbles up.
But if you have money, buy the business class. Or you can get your PJ.
Right.
But once you enter that corporate cylinder.
Behave yourself.
Obey the captains.
Yeah.
If they say remove this, because they have a right to do anything to remove,
They can eject a
passenger from a flight.
Yeah.
They have a right to turn back. They can take off now. Somebody starts causing problem. You are rushing for a major contract. There, and they are fighting there. They will turn around and go back to the station and land. And the captain has a right.
Emergency issue.
The captain has a right to do that for safety. Anything can be safety. He can say he felt threatened, the flight or whatever. So inside the aircraft is where everybody is a mutual assured suicide. Let's just cooperate with each other.
Because if one person, it can endanger everybody.
There's also lack of education. I remember one day I arrived in Abuja, 7 a.m. flight to Abuja. You know how you arrive? Abuja has a lot of flights coming in at 7 a.m. from Enugu, from Kaduna, everywhere. Bunch of arrival. And so when planes arrive at the same time, they have to, hover.
Yeah.
Until you're told to land. I remember that I was in the flight. One guy who was sitting by my side was just saying, this plane wants to crash.
Because you were hovering.
You were hovering.
Right. So you started panicking.
Yes, panicking. When the plane landed, he just said, he picked the phone. Called his friend. Thank God, though. Separate, thank God, though. We nearly crashed today. And the plane was just in holding.
Right.
Because of the bunch of arrival into Abuja early in the morning. There's so many 7 a.m. flights. So there's an issue of lack of education, lack of awareness, and also the fear of flying.
Right.
Fear, Nigeria has had bad plane accidents.
Right.
And even though aviation is the safest
form of travel. Traveling by car is more unsafe.
Nigeria, the aviation pilot, the AON know I'm their friend, but they have a lot to do.
Yes.
On-time departure, on-time arrival. Some of their staff are very saucy and rude. And some of the airlines now that they book 5 a.m. flights. Remember those bank advertisements those days? That you need to carry mat to go to the airport.
To sleep.
You have a flight of 10 a.m. in the morning. You won't leave to 10 p.m. the night. So you have to carry mat to the airport for some of these airlines. And no apologies. People are, so...
No compensation.
No compensation. Because aviation is supposed to be point to point, quick travel. That's why it's expensive. And so the airlines have to do something about it. There are issues. There are many issues. But the issue is that, guys, when you enter that 45-minute flight... Take your seat number, 11A or 11C. Go there, put on your seat belt.
Turn off your phone.
Say hi, bye, I'm flying. Put your phone something. Stop. They tell you in Nigeria, abroad these days you can even fly with your phone on or whatever. No fly mode. But Nigeria, they tell you, put off your phone. That no fly mode is not acceptable. So telling the air hostess that my phone is no fly mode. It doesn't work.
Turn it off.
You have to turn it off. In Nigeria, you must turn it off. No fly mode. So this education is very important. And the air hostess should stop talking down on passengers. They look at sometimes, because especially those ones.
In economy.
Those in economy, they just you see the glee in them when they're closing the curtain. The glee in them, like these people got you. Poor men and women.
Public service announcement there from Arise Business Analyst Chika Mbonu. Very, very well said. And I hope we all take the message and see how this unfolds. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.